Houthis stage large-scale attack on Saudi-aligned forces in Yemen. The strikes are yet another escalation in Houthi-Saudi hostilities, roiling the Red Sea region. Welcome to the War Zone. Smash the like button, subscribe if you are new, and all credit to the War Zone website. That's where we are reading from today. The Houthi rebels of Yemen have launched one of their biggest attacks on Saudi-aligned forces in the country in years. The strikes are a flare-up in what until recently has been a largely massive conflict, right? They took place in eastern Yemeni, the province of Hadramaut and Ma'rib, which are areas controlled by local forces opposed to the Houthis. This unfolded as the Iranian-backed rebel group is also expanding its campaign against Saudi shipping in the Red Sea region and its oil production infrastructure. The Houthis claim they killed and injured hundreds of the Saudi-aligned troops, and the Yemeni government officials said that at least 30 soldiers were killed, while there has been no official comment from Riyadh. However, U.S. Embassy in Yemen, the Yemeni Defense Ministry, and the Saudi-led forces confirmed the attacks, and in a statement on X, the Yemeni Defense Ministry said the Houthis carried out a treacherous attack using ballistic missiles and drones, targeting several camps and units of the armed forces. The target of these strikes, the Yemen Emergency Forces, or YEF, acknowledged that they were hit also in a statement, and the U.S. Embassy in Yemen derided the Houthi attacks as an act of terrorism. Several videos emerged online showing the Houthi attacks. They depict plumes of smoke wafting from what appear to be strikes and the sounds of small arms firing, and what appears to be a drone strike can be heard in the background of the videos as well, but they offer little real sense of the scope of the situation or the damage caused, as videos tend to do. And there was also a video showing a Houthi missile launching against the Saudi-backed forces. But that's kind of unconfirmed. Today's engagement marks a major escalation both in Houthi-Saudi hostilities and in the battle for Yemen, one of the world's poorest countries in the world, but strategically located along the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. The civil war in Yemen erupted in 2014 and expanded a year later when Saudi-led coalition joined forces with the government ousted by the Houthis. And in response to attacks on its shipping, Saudi Arabia hit Houthi missile launch platforms, a rocket launch site, and drone depots. However, the Saudi reaction was limited in nature. It remains to be seen how the kingdom will respond now, given that many of the fighters it supports have been killed. The uptick in Saudi Houthi fighting comes as the region is already roiled in conflict, though efforts are underway to achieve a diplomatic solution to the U.S.-Iran war, now paused in an uneasy ceasefire. And the flow of traffic through the strategic choke point have become the main sticking point between Washington and Tehran as the two sides work toward ending hostilities. U.S. President Donald Trump has insisted that Iran must fully open the vital choke point or face new and more intense attacks that would include power plants, other civilian infrastructure, and even leadership. How much increased fighting between the Saudis and Houthis complicates these matters and an open question. And the closing of the BAM to Saudi oil traffic, the other strait on the Red Sea left of Strait of Hormuz, and now threats to the transit route north to the canal have already raised the specter of the United States having to get as involved as it did during the previous Houthi campaign against shipping that ended last September, which could pull resources away from Iranian-focused operations. It's possible Egypt would have a major problem with such actions too, as it would impact the canal's revenue and freedom of movement. A major intensification of Saudi-Houthi hostilities represents yet another complication in a region already in turmoil. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens as this war escalates. And it's just a massive mess. It's not good. The United States are low on patriots. They can't defend every single Gulf state at every single location and base. at the same time, right? We're not able to do that. So perhaps the United States isn't as powerful as we think. Iran is very powerful, and they have the upper hand here because they're able to use cheap munitions, very low-cost drones, and United States have to use very expensive interceptors, and that's the biggest issue here in this war. But thank you guys very much for watching. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with everything war and military related. Type as a comment down below of what you thought about this episode. Don't forget to smash the like button. A thumbs up is greatly appreciated down below. And ring the bell if you don't want to miss any video we post coming up in the future. And as always, you're watching Everything Weapons. Take a look, check out the older content on the channel, guys. Lots of military history videos, weapon related. And I will see you guys next time.